So the only place we haven't been is the bridge. We'll check that out. Even though I'm pretty sure that was like invaded by these alien dudes, so might not be the best place to go. Aha. Aha. What have we got? It's quite loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. I don't even know if that actually changed anything just then. Okay, so the storyline of this is that these dudes have like boarded our ship and turned the crew into sherbet, apparently, which is what these little balls are. So yes, an interesting kind of storyline, I guess.
The science officer has been reduced to a scoop of light, lemony sorbet. Hopefully I can restore him back to normal, if I can get that weird belt from that Bjorn invader.
Let's do it. Can I eat this sherbet? Sorbet? Whatever it is?
How are you feeling? Funny, he doesn't respond. Oh well. He was rude to me when he was in his non-sorbet state.
And he's still rude to you now.
Somebody provided a power socket here. How thoughtful. How convenient.
With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can adjust the elevation, tilt, rotation, and firmness level of his command center.
Good for
and
him.
if you put in a quarter, it'll massage 320 different acupressure points.
Wow, that's impressive. Wonder if it makes reference to the SNES controller.
With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can override navigational subsystems, access ship-wide computer functions, perform sensor sweeps, and get to level 6 of Super Nunzio World.
Is that supposed to be like Super Nintendo? I don't know. Turn this back up. I don't actually think this does anything. These controls are fake. They don't do shit.
With these controls, Commander Kiel...
Okay,
and if you put...
I already looked at that.
It's Commander Kielbasa. And he's melting. Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world!
Maybe we should put them in the fridge.
These new kitty litter boxes use warp plasma redundancy circuits to release concentrated air freshener gradually for up to 45 days.
Wow, that's a while. That is
It's
a while.
Commander Kielbasa's kitty litter box. This is where he makes most of his best command decisions. Not to mention all of his log entries.
Log entries. Funny.
There's nothing left of the communications officer but a small scoop of lemon sorbet. What a shame. But at least he died with his palate refreshed.
I guess that's a positive. Do you want to look at it that way?
The main view screen is filled with stars and distant galaxies, representing untold scores of civilizations and a vast amount of untapped knowledge that could reshape the way we think of time and space. But more importantly, you're proud to notice that your new squeegee didn't leave any streaks.
Nice. Nice work, Roger. Okay.
This appears to be the head Bjorn. He's either draining energy from the pattern buffers or absorbing all the information stored in the computer by bombarding it with nucleonic radiation. I hate it when that happens.
Well, we best stop him
There's
then.
a curious socket of some sort just below the toaster mounted on his head.
Maybe we can plug this into him. Plug him in.
I've almost got an idea there, except for a couple of problems. For instance, I need to plug the Clapmaster into a socket to get it to work. The nearest socket is too far away.
Darn. We're gonna need an extension cable.
My Clapmaster isn't quite up to snuff either.
Oh yeah, we need to
Other
fix
than
the
that,
socket
I
too.
think I've done well. If I don't tell me these things, no one will.
Okay. We're gonna have to find a extension cable, I assume.
There's something not quite right about the Clapmaster.
Alright, so I don't know how we're gonna do that. I don't think there's anything else here we can get. And we've kind of looked everywhere. Where else did we not really look? 8 rear, we There wasn't really anything there. I guess the shuttle bay, maybe. Could have a look around again. Like, we came into screen from over here, so holy shit, he walks fast. Maybe we can go... No, can't go that way. Maybe we can do something with this.
You won't be doing any refueling around here, bub. Not since you were caught smoking while filling the O2 tanks.
Roger, what the fuck? Dangerous, man. Get us killed. Maybe I can get into one of these ships.
You run your hand enviously along the wide, bulbous lines of the gateway.
Nice nacelles.
I guess not that one.
Don't touch that. We don't know where you've been.
You know where I've been. You've seen everywhere I've been in the last 6 games.
The hatch to the shuttle is locked, so you peek in the window.
Ooh, it's inside.
There doesn't seem to be anything in there except a rag that says, "My father was betrayed at Kittimer, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt."
Father, no!
You search in vain for a way to open the hatch to the shuttle.
Nothing. Okay. It's helpful. This one? This one has a cool alien reference on it.
Oh yeah, real smart. Let's go poking around inside a pod that's probably carrying a half-dozen miniature face-hugging, saliva-dripping, face-eating, exoskeletal alien piranha things. And while we're at it, let's split up so that we're all alone and defenseless, okay?
I love the references they make in these games. Like, when I played the fan remake of number 2, I kind of complained that there was too many references to like pop culture stuff. But like replaying the rest of the series, I see that they do have a lot of references. Though I think like the actual game references are a little more subtle, whereas the ones from the remake were kind of like quite in your face about what they were referencing. And I prefer this kind of style of them. Because like this one here, whatever that says.
Some guy wearing a Delco air.
Nope.
This baby's these balsa wood. This Japian runabout strikes fear into the heart of the Japaxian Empire.
Yeah, like that, I'm assuming.
It's a good compact shuttle for under 8,500 buckazoids.
There's probably some kind of like reference to something that I am not familiar with, but it doesn't take me out of the universe that I don't know that reference. Whereas the other game, I don't know, they were a lot more in your face, and I kind of feel like it took you out of the game a little bit. That's just my opinion.
If you were aiming for the shuttle hatch, you missed.
Oh.
But if you just wanted to inspect the hull of the shuttle for microfractures and embedded particulate matter, you were incredibly successful.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That was my plan. So maybe we can get in. Okay, so we can get into this one. Cool. Cool. What do we got?
This tank of emergency oxygen serves an incredibly important purpose.
What?
It ensures that the shuttle's hatch makes a neat hissing sound when it opens and closes.
That is very important. Just imagine point-and-click games today. Memes? Oh, yes, there would be memes everywhere. Like, I'm surprised that kind of thing hasn't been made yet, to be honest. Like, I can just imagine someone making one of these games with that.
The shuttle closet contains an EVA suit and helmet for those infrequent repairs.
Let's get it.
Sorry, you can't open this closet in the demo. You'll just have to take my word for it that there's an EVA suit in there.
Okay, fine. We'll leave that where it is.
This compartment contains the Devalium crystal subprocessor and main flux coupling.
It's quite interesting that, like, they obviously had...
It ordinarily contains the subspace transmission relays and tachyon emitters. It's empty right now.
Yeah, like, it's interesting that they kind of reference things that are in the actual game. So they must have obviously pretty much had most of the actual game done when they made this demo or something. I don't know. kind of like a weird design timeline, because this demo came out the same year as the actual game came out.
We won't be sitting in these seats. At least, not in the demo.
They kind of obviously had a timeline for everything that was going to happen already when they wrote this.
We won't be sitting in...
This is the shuttle's personal effects stowage compartment.
This is the shuttle cockpit. In the real game, I will sit here. I will be smart. I will make it go. I will make things work.
Bet you will, Roger. What about this? Can we grab this?
You know as much about fixing diagnostic relays as you do about performing a Tetryon particle sweep.
What?
Loser.
They won't let us mess with what's inside there in the demo version.
They? How dare they? Bastards. So I can't use this. Oh, what? Can use. Wait, these are the same as the,
Surely no one will miss these pliers, since everyone around here is busy being lemon sorbet.
I'm pretty sure these are the same
A
items you get in the
janitor
actual
never
game.
runs out of uses for duct tape. I'll just help myself to this role.
Do it. I'm sure no one's gonna mind. We've got some pliers and we've got some duct tape. Maybe we can use the pliers to get that that bit from this out of that socket without dying. Be a possibility. Don't think there's anything else we can do here.
The emergency oxygen tank is not removable, nor can you activate it by hand. It's patched directly into the shuttle door sound effects matrix.
Makes sense.
Oops. I guess it's too late for that.
For burgers? It's never too late for burgers. What are you talking
The
about?
shuttle feels flimsy.
Simmer down, buddy. Wait for the real game.
Sorry.
There's only part of this cockpit you can actually access in the demo.
Okay, well I've done that, I assume. Okay. Oh, hold on. Stop. What are these buttons?
The shuttle feels...
Can't use the
Don't
buttons.
pick at it. You'll only make it worse.
Okie doke. Okie pokey. Okay. Well, we'll go try using those pliers on that socket. See if we can get that pin out. So that was in Roger's quarters. Roger's quarters. So this one here. Do it. Okay, that didn't work. Ah, geez, I guess one must be careful about where one lets one's digits probe. Okay. Assume that would be the solution.
Excellent guess, Kreskin. Wrong, but excellent.
Guess that's not going to help. Maybe it's because there's a crucial piece of hardware missing.
Could be right. Could be right. Unless we can.
I think I'll try imitating some of the smarter maintenance engineers I've observed through the years and wrap the duct tape around the pliers' handles.
Oh yeah, insulation. Good thinking, Roger. Now I can get it. Sweet. But
Cool. I didn't think that would work.
what?
Go figure.
I assume we'd have to like weld it back on or
Gosh,
something.
I guess I've proven that I have the ability to be more than just a mediocre janitor. I could also be a mediocre electrician.
I think judging from the amount of times you've been shocked in the small space of time, you probably shouldn't do that, Roger. Okay, cool. So we fixed this, but we still need like an extension cord or something. I don't know where the hell we're gonna get that from though. There's definitely not anything else in here.
Your ship has been invaded by a race of appliance. Come on, Roger.
Extension cord, maybe from the
Sticking
heater.
your finger in the socket might provide us with a few cheap laughs, but we're above that sort of thing.
You're not above that sort of thing. You've already done that to me. You lie. Okay. Where else can we go? Maybe we'll go back to the 8 rear, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't anything there. Seemed pretty empty to me. Seems pretty empty. The only thing that we could kind of interact with here was this. But I think we need a code for it. We're gonna play this theme song again? Nope.
You shouldn't try to open this door by tugging on it. You'll strip the gears, just like you did to the replicator in your quarters.
I had a replicator in my quarters? Didn't even know.
You leave a greasy smudge on the screen. One of these days, you'll have to wash out that little screen cleaner pad you've been using for the past few months.
We can, like, order stuff on here, but I need to find a code from somewhere. Don't think we can do anything else until we got a code.
It's a button with a number on it.
Great. It's helpful.
This is the screen used to display the numbers as you enter them. This is the replicator hatch, a sliding door behind which is hidden the vortex resonance coils and the molecular soylentization generator.
Sounds very technical. So we... Oh, what's that?
This is 8 Rear, the ship's lounge. Here crew members come to relax, drink, eat, converse, party, hit on each other, brawl, hurl, pass out, and intrude on each other's personal space.
Sounds like a good time.
Right now, it smells vaguely lemony.
Okay, what else can we do? Maybe we do need to look at that, whatever it's called. The entity database. There was a lot of stuff to read in there. We'll have a look though. So DNA sequencing didn't work. We have known races. A to E. Andromedan, Decapus, Andromedans. Bigdealers, Bicranial Crud Snorter, more and back. Alright, well let's just... I think we read this one already. Extinct. See, Coronian Tentacular Slime Sucker. Cool. Andromedans. These repugnant creatures are known for their mohawk dews and their well-developed prehensile snouts, with which they can pick up small objects, give themselves neck rubs, and unleash projectile mucosa at enemies. The most famous Andromedan are the Two Guys, who rose above their humble Andromedan beginnings to become two of the most popular and successful game designers in the galaxy. They were once kidnapped and pressed into servitude by the notorious Scumsoft Corporation, but were later rescued by an unidentified worker. We don't even get credited for it. Vaguely lemony is the way to go when it comes to smells. Yeah, well, I mean, lemony is kind of like one of those smells you kind of associate with being clean, so I guess that's a good thing. Though, in terms of this, it's our crew has been turned into lemon sorbet, so not quite the same thing. Most Andromedans prefer flavored foreign coffees, such as hazelnut mocha mistake and vanilla cottage cheese. Okay, sound great. Big dealers. What are these? Primary civilization of the planet Mega Big Deal in the Sector B subcluster. See Coronian killer mammal. Cool. Note that Starcon has recently dropshipped emergency supplies of hooked on phonics to the big dealers on Omega Big Deal. Okay, it's not helpful. Bicranial Crud Snorter. Imagine a crud snorter, only with a bifurcated cranium. Bicranial crud snorters are limber, simian creatures with frontal lobes the size of Talosian binary cassavas. Okay, that makes no sense to me. One would assume this makes them smarter than the average simian. One would be very wrong. Bicranial crud snorters prove the old adage that it's not how big your brain is, it's what you do with it. Just like their monocranial cousins, they spend most of their time snorting crud, and then hacking it out again in extended coughing fits that often last up to 12 hours. While they're not gagging and choking, the bicranial crud snorter enjoys swimming, cycling, jazz, and eating Gabrielian dust mites. Cool. Good for them, I guess. More. Bjorn. Oh, the Bjorn are the ones that are on our ship, so maybe... The Bjorn... Sorry, let's start that again. The Bjorn, a race of half-humanoid, half-kitchen appliance creatures, are the scourge of the known universe. The Bjorn seek out civilizations in order to assimilate them. The collected knowledge of each civilization is then applied to the task of creating newer, shinier kitchen appliances. This is how the Presto Hot Dogger and the Daisy Sealer Meal were invented. The leader of the Bjorn is a toaster-skulled Noctuticles. Wait, that's the guy that we saw before. Starcon has posted a reward for the deactivation of Noctuticles. Noctuticles? No Cuticles? Is that his name? Who may be recognized by a socket just below the interior crust control. This socket is typically used to connect Noctuticles to various power sources in order to recharge him, and through him, the entire Bjorn collective. Yeah, okay. I guess if we shut him down, then we shut the rest of them down. But how are we gonna... We need to find a extension cable still, though. The great irony is that the Bjorn never spend any time in the kitchen, preferring to send out. They eat a peculiar mixture of batteries, nuts, bolts, and reprocessed organic sludge. Replicator code 7469410. Oh, okay, so maybe we can use that code in the old Mr. Soylent replicator. So we'll just write that down. 7469410. Cool. Well, that was kind of helpful. I don't know if we'll keep reading though. How much more is there? Probably a lot. Okay, so we've done those ones. There's not too many, but then we've also got to do the other categories. We'll read a few more, I guess. We'll read this. We'll read A to E, and then we'll get on with what we're doing. Okay. We've got the Boerthnic boulder beaver. The herbivorous boulder beaver is most recognizable for its powerful prehensile tail. Unlike the tail of most beavers, which is strong enough to fling mud, the boulder beaver can use his tail to bench about 340 pounds for 3 sets of 15 reps without even stopping for a fruit-flavored sports beverage. Hence, it can, in fact, create a dam out of boulders or nearly any other material, including, but not limited to, molten steel, lava, and stellar core fragments. The beaver prefers to eat the sweet, spicy leaves of the creepy habanero eucalyptus vine. Replicator. Oh, okay, so we've got another replicator code. I don't know if that one's actually going to be any help to us, but I'll write it down. 6830620. Cool. Our next one is the Ernon Sea Urchin. Or Eonon. The Eonon sea urchin is a pitiful little creature and doesn't really care who knows it. It cries constantly, which was only recently discovered since the creature lives underwater. It also refuses to play with the other Ernon sea urchins. However, some of its feelings are understandable. After all, it's just about the ugliest sucker on Eonon. Its spiny quills make a romance a tedious and impractical affair, and its gonads are highly prized as sushi. This would make you cranky too. Probably would. Okay, Estrosian sea slugs. Jesus. Giving me a challenge pronouncing a lot of these words. The multi-tentacled sea slug is a large, menacing carnivore with a squid-like beak. Its spectacular adaptive abilities and matchless ferocity ensure that it can easily survive for extended periods underwater, on land, or in space. However, due to its numerous disgusting habits and unrestrained lifestyle, the Australian sea slug would not hold up for more than 5 minutes under the scrutiny of the liberal media. Astrosian sea slugs eat all manner of creatures, particularly aquatic ones. Their favorite food, though, is the latex babes of... Oh, okay. Latex babe of Estros. That must be the thing that we, like, destroyed in Space Quest 2. Big ass sea slug thing. Kinda cool. Bit of a reference there. Okay, so that's all of the A to E's. We'll just go through these actually, why not? Because we've got a couple of codes here, we might get a few more. I don't know if they're actually useful or not. Okay, Galanian gutter rats. Galanian gutter rats are so slimy, sniveling, and nasty that they give a bad name to all other gutter rats. But of all their despicable habits, the worst is the fact that they're the lousiest bowlers in the galaxy, hence their name. Okay. Not only do they rarely break 100, but they talk loud and cuss when other people are seriously trying to bowl. Yes, it's a contradiction in terms. Their preferred diet is the bowling alley combo: French fries, burgers, hot dogs, and beer. Replicator 676 2876. Cool, this sounds pretty good. Let's get some hot dogs and beer. I like the sound of that one. Green slime. Oh, this might be the green slime we saw in Space Quest 4. Half animal, half vegetable, and half lousy mathematician. The green slime of xenon is a vague byproduct of industrial waste and organic compounds combined with a powerful electric charge. The resulting life form is a slow-moving mass of gelatinous, acidic protoplasm with simple reflexes and a voracious appetite. This makes it ideally suited for dissolving locks and appearing in bad horror movies. Green slime will eat anything in its path, dissolving it quickly but not painlessly. It reportedly feels like blasting an exposed tooth nerve with hot, salty iodine using a water pick. Damn, that don't sound good at all. Bizarrely, it has no such effect on glass, making it ultra convenient to carry around bits of green slime in an ordinary jar. And indeed, it was marketed this way under the name Face Be Gone, Hawk City. Okay, that's a reference to Space Quest 4 where we collected some of that slime in a glass jar and then used it to melt a lock. Growl. That name sounds familiar too. What was the Growl? Was that the one on Space Quest 1? At one time, many aeons ago, Growl were the primary inhabitants of Corona. Yep, it is the one from Space Quest 1. Artifacts and ruins have revealed much about them. They were creatures of immense size, towering some 30 to 40 meters tall. They were extremely ugly and couldn't bear to look at one another, which is why their race died out entirely. They were hunter-gatherers, preferring to hunt gatherers than gather hunters. Okay. Interesting. Oh man, the writers to this game did all the hard work, you can tell. Yeah, they've put a lot of effort into this, like, putting all these creatures in here, like, I'm assuming a decent amount of these are from, like, previous games, but there's some ones in here that they've obviously just made up too, and, like, I'm assuming, like, you only really need to probably grab, like, 1 or 2 codes from here, and then the rest is kind of, like, not actually necessary, so put a lot of effort into this, like, doing all of this kind of, like, information. Just for, like, a joke that only some people might catch. Coronian Tentacular Slime Sucker. So that might be the one we saw in Space Quest 1 as well, the one that was in that grate on the floor. The Corona Tentacular Slime Sucker, which lives deep in the subterranean caves of Corona, has never been seen by anybody who's lived to provide a complete description. All that has ever been seen are their slimy tentacles, which are tentacle-like and slimy, resembling tentacle-like slimy tentacles. Anything which finds its way into their tentacles is first slimed, then devoured. This is an appropriate moment to note that tentacles comes from the root 10 tickles, since the Andromedan decapus, with its 10 serpentine flexible appendages, tickled its foes to death. Alright, fair enough. That's just another fun fact to know and tell. Cool. What else we got? Coronian Killer Mammal. Coronian Killer Mammal, that's a very generic name. The Coronian killer mammal has an undeservedly fierce reputation due primarily to its name, or rather, what its name has become over the course of generations of sloppy pronunciation. Originally known as the lonely and bewildered sandbill, the Coronian killer mammal is a gentle, slow-moving herbivorous insect that would rather squash itself flat than come into contact with any other life form. These tiny introverted creatures are native to the planet Omega Big Deal, the only planet with the distinction of having its entire civilization flunk phonics. This lack of linguistic agility is said to account for the distortion of Sandbill's name, although another theory has been put forth that the killer mammal appellation is merely due to centuries of sarcasm. The Coronian killer mammal eats dust mites. Lots and lots of them. Okay, we'll write that one down too. 683, 86, 87. Not that we're probably going to need it, but it's all good. Okay, Coronians. The sentient civilization of Corona are the Coronians, a secretive and shy race of scholarly old men. They devote their lives to the pursuit and dissemination of knowledge. Conversations with Coronians are liable to be dry, peppered with obscure and dull references to places and people you've never heard of, and full of self-congratulatory rhetoric. Most members of Mensa are Coronians. Okay. Most Coronians are vegans and prefer the local flora. Replicator 258. 0969. However, some Coronians eat their own young, just so they can knowingly say, "Oh yes, I've done that. We taste like chicken." Alright. Cool. Killer cave beaver. It's the second beaver species we've run into on here. This beaver's eyesight is among the worst in the galaxy, matched only by the giant cataract beast of Pestilon and the blind plummeting mountain goat of Andromeda. Although the cave beaver is herbivorous, it frequently accidentally kills other creatures because, up close, they all look like tree trunks. It's only after the beaver has chewed its way through the nearest sturdy limb that it discovers the limb is some creature's arm or leg. Thus, dams made by the killer cave beaver are quite disgusting. Killer cave beaver's favourite food is clinging girlfriend Ivy. What? 658 8561. Cool. Labion cave squid. Did we run into that on Labion? I don't remember. Oh, we did actually. That thing kills you when you've got to crawl through those caves with the glowing gem. The Labion cave squid is a fish-like mammal which has not yet realized that it is a land dweller. Thus, it still tends to squirt ink, which just lies ineffectively in a puddle on the ground and gets on the bottom of your boots. It also uses typical squid-like flexing motions to propel itself, a very inefficient mode of transportation when moving through rocky tunnels. So the Labion cave squid gets a lot of nasty cuts and scrapes as it tries to frog kick its way across a rough stony floor. This makes it more cranky than ever. The cave squid is also frightened by both humanoids and light. Since it thinks it's still in the murky depths of the deep Labion swamps, don't confuse it by approaching it. It will happily crush you rather than have to question its reality. It will also eat you if given the opportunity. Yep, we did find that out the hard way in Space Quest 2, I think that was. Oh man, there's heaps on this one. Labion root monster. We ran into that one too, that one's a pain in the ass. A direct descendant of the Venus buggerfly, the Labion root monster is a carnivorous plant with roots both above and below ground. The underground roots absorb water and nutrients normally, but the soil of Labion is nitrogen poor, so the above ground roots collect nitrogen by capturing and digesting small stupid animals or larger stupid ones. stupider ones. When disturbed, the roots wrap around the luckless creature and convey it to the central sac, wherein lies the digestive juices and spike-like cilia that reduce the creature to a pulp-like consistency. At this point, the root monster exudes nitrogen like a Clorox 2 bean bladder at the Gilroy 9 Garlic Festival. Okay. The Labian root monster is best observed at a distance, or in the highly acclaimed vidcast series, The Trials of Grotesque Alien Animal Behavior by highly acclaimed naturalist Dr. David Ate and Burrowed. Alright. Quite a few on this one actually. Labian Swamp Slurpee. The Swamp Slurpee is believed to be a hideous, grotesque half-fish, half-reptile, also known as an amphibian. Nobody's quite sure because nobody who's seen one up close has ever lived to describe it. Witnesses are usually found slightly decapitated or with a modest discount in the cranial region. We can only assume they eat everyone and everything. A good assumption to make. Labian Terra Beast. The Terra Beast is aptly named since it spends most of its life in terror. Although the Terra Beast could easily defeat a humanoid, it usually avoids conflict unless faced with a particular wimpy opponent. Oh, okay, so that's why it killed us in that game rather than avoiding us, because we were obviously wimpy to it. Most of its time is spent keeping to itself, avoiding public appearances and banquets. Its preferred diet is composed mainly of the roots of the starshook bush. 642 2803. Cool. No, there's more. Terra beasts are born with extremely powerful leg muscles. However, one leg is shorter than the other, so the beast tends to spin in a tight circle as it zooms across the Labian landscape. This creates a whirlwind effect that can provide particularly hazardous to trailer parks. A highly intelligent creature, the beast enjoys figuring out small puzzles and will often stop in the middle of a hunt to figure out a matchstick puzzle, logic problem, or riddle. Curiously though, the beast hates arcade sequences. Right. Latex babes. These natives of the planet Estros are usually nubile humanoid females. Although the occasional wily, stringy male is not unheard of, and are peripherally necessary for the propagation of the species. Turn-ons include constructing the finest underwater craft in the galaxy, arc welding, and shopping. Turn-offs are Estrosian sea slugs, plaque build-up above the gum line, and two-timing janitors. Favorite foods are eelwort sashimi and roasted drymouth gurami. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're not actually going to need half of these codes, but we will still try them out. Because sometimes they'll like chuck in kind of like a funny sequence for trying out stuff like that. Okay, so that's all of those ones. N and R are up to. Nose Nugget Nomads. These lumpen creatures toddle around the universe in wood-panelled station wagons, with their sack-like children in tow. They go on sightseeing tours that last upward of 30,000 years. During these tours, they take literally millions of slides, most of which show them waving high on every dinky little planet, asteroid, and intergalactic tourist trap in the Crab Nebula. During their hibernation phase, which lasts about 4,000 years, they have their film developed. When they awaken, they watch their slides. Entire civilizations have risen and fallen during one of the Nose Nugget slideshows. Nose Nuggets pride themselves on their gustatorial flexibility. They eat whatever foods are native to their location they're visiting. On planets where the natives subsist mainly on Nose Nuggets, this presents the Nose Nuggets with a difficult situation in which they often end up having to eat themselves. What? Okay. Orats. These aggressive carnivores have been the bane of visitors to the planet Corona for hundreds of years. Hulking and heavily muscled, orats walk on two powerful hind legs. They enjoy crushing other life forms with their massive forearms. They also enjoy basketball, and often combine the two by playing a quick game of one-on-one with a recent catch. Interesting, or not, the flesh of the orat is highly prized for its flavour and buttery texture. It's found as a common ingredient in the cuisines of several different planets. As a result, there is a burgeoning black market in orat poaching. For that reason, the orat is considered an endangered species, but nobody seems to mind except for a few chefs. Which one was the orat? Was that the one in the cave? I thought that was the Gorel or whatever. Maybe I'm confusing those two. Okay, back. Pestil and Monochrome boys. Oh, those are the ones from Space Quest 4. Pestil and Monochrome boys. You won't find the Monochrome boys in their native habitat. These foul-mouthed, belligerent beasts spend most of the time zipping around on hardly drama mines, bullying weaker life forms and tinkering with their hogs. Not their motorcycles, but their real hogs. Don't ask, you don't want to know. Okay. Monochrome boys are so named because of their unusual white and grey pigmentation. The blotchy blemishes are partly responsible for their sour demeanour. Do not make eye contact. Should they force a confrontation, do not call them monochrome or boys. It's alright for them to call each other monochrome, but it's not okay for anyone else. Okay. I get it. I get the reference there. The diet of monochrome boys consists mainly of any other life form that has a light, crunchy exoskeleton. Cool. Fleabutt pod snatchers. The only other life form indigenous to Fleabutt other than the Fleabuttonskis, pod snatchers hang from the purplish rock formation that dot the landscape. Oh, yep, I know which ones those are. I know those. Those are the ones you can use to kill the, whatever it's called, that, like, Terminator droid thing that comes after you. In Space Quest 3, I believe. They attach themselves by means of a strong, solid muscle, and that their tough, chitinous outer shell protects them from potential predators, of which they have precisely none. At birth, the pod snatcher cannot focus on its prey. Fortunately, it has glands located near its tear ducts that secrete a liquid glass that hardens and forms a lens over the eye, usually in about an hour. Jesus, okay. Imagine that, lenses in about an hour. Pod snatcher then looks down from its upside down perch and can unroll a sticky, extensible tongue that can pick up an enemy 250 times its own weight, snag a fly moving over 35 kilometers per hour, or perform several dubious tricks designed to get it onto Quadrant 12's funniest home videos. Their favorite food is Fleabuttonskis, but since there are no Fleabuttonskis left on the planet, they mostly eat sand. Fleabuttonskis is our next one. On Fleabutt, the laws of natural selection are clearly illustrated, particularly in how they can sometimes go horribly awry and produce a poorly adapted race totally incapable of surviving its native habitat. The creatures native to Fleabuttonski are collectively called Fleabuttonskis or blats. Ah, okay, so that's, what's his name? Festablats. For short. They have 3 fingers which end in suction cups, ideal for grasping small prey or souvenirs. They have oversized pupils for seeing in dim light, large yellow incisors for cutting through food, and long, narrow nostrils to protect against inhaling most foreign objects, except for their fingers. Unfortunately, the planet of Fleabutt, a greenish dust ball, has no small prey to grasp. It is brightly lit through the day-night cycle, features deposits of naturally occurring pulpy food, must be gummed extensively before being swallowed. Replicate, oh, another one. We've got so many codes here now. 8644. Yeah, extensively before being swallowed, and has rock formations which cast off long, narrow slivers of mica which are easily inhaled by the blats. These mica slivers can cause extensive lacerations of the sinus cavities. Thus, any blat who is fortunate enough to survive the atmosphere typically loses his teeth, goes blind, or starves quickly. Damn, it's pretty brutal. In fact, there is only one known currently surviving blats, known as Fester, who has moved off of Fleabut to seek a more hospitable environment. He was still on Fleabut when we saw him though in Space Quest 3. Pinkins. Oh, those are the ones from Space Quest 2 that helped us. Well, we helped them and then they helped us. The Pinkins are a race of contrasts. They're so cute, you just want to eat them up. But you can't, because they're very tough and you can chew them for hours without making any headway. Which is alright, because they taste horrible. They live on Labion and create elaborate warrens or dens. They also swim through the Labion swamps with ease, since they use certain berries to repel the swamp slurpees that inhabit the marshes and bayous. However, the berries are ineffective against the monstrous killer cave beavers, who invade the dens and feast on the Pinkins within. The cave beavers are not intelligent enough to figure out how tough and chewy the Pinkins are, and often sample every Pinkins in the den before realizing that none of them are tender enough. Pinkins are herbivorous, so they only eat creatures named Herb. They will also eat the young shoots of the wandering atheist. Okay. 4366314. What else we got? Done those. Cool. Okay, so we're on to our last one now. Saurians. Ooh, so those are the ones from Space Quest 1. The Saurians are a humanoid race, treacherous, evil, but always eager to please. The Saurians make wonderful hosts, especially if you're the enemy, and who isn't. They pride themselves on their techniques of torture, mutilation, disfigurement, napkin folding, and selecting the right wine to go with whichever enemy they're eating. They're also easily offended should you insinuate that they're doing less than their best to grind you into a fine red paste. Saurians are omnivores, preferring to eat old back issues of Omni. Space monkeys. Ah, those are from Space Quest 5. We're very familiar with those. Billions of years ago, the planet Serenia was devastated by a collision with an asteroid. All water evaporated from the ecosystem. Every day the inhabitants survived was a victory. Eventually, all life perished, or so it was believed. Many of the life forms adapted by encapsulating themselves in cyst-like eggs. When these eggs are immersed in water, they hatch. One such life form, known as the brine monkey, tiny water-breathing simian. Sereno Products mined the planet for its huge deposits of brine monkey eggs. While they were at it, they also mined encysted brine apes, brine marsupials, and brine aardvarks. Sereno has since marketed the monkey eggs under the trademarked name Space Monkeys in comic books. Space monkeys prefer space food or sticks. More codes. Write it down. Space food sticks or tangy piquant brine bananas. Actually, the banana thing kind of like jogs my memory. I think you actually do need to use these codes, but I don't think it's in this game. I think it's in the full game. Spiny alien fangs are a marvel of adaptive ability. With exoskeletons far too cumbersome to permit traditional reproductive techniques, spiny alien fangs have learned to propagate by kissing. Oh, that's the one from Space Quest 2? Was it Space? Yes. It's the one that like kisses you and then you die like 20 minutes later. This is not a little platonic kiss. It contains a fertilized egg which heads straight for the victim's stomach. Here it absorbs nutrients for days or weeks. Like a parasite, only well, just like a parasite. Wait, did I skip a page there? Nope. When it senses the most dramatic moment possible, it bursts forth from the stomach in a spectacular display of special effects. This explosion naturally kills the host. But isn't it worth it for all the cool gore? Especially if the host was an extra and not a highly paid guest star. They make quite a few references to the Alien series actually in this. Vulgars. Okay, so this is actually our last one. The Vulgars are a peaceful race of brilliant and logical thinkers whose only real joy in life is to stride around the galaxy with superior attitudes and correct other people's grammar and spelling. They also enjoy designing outer space strategy simulation games, which makes them nearly as insufferable as university academic. The fuck? Is that even a word? Academician? I don't know. But not as well paid. Considering their placid and studious lifestyle, it's interesting to note that the Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. Oh, okay, yep, I know what that is. This is a tactile oral maneuver in which the pincher pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering dialogue from either Tango and Cash or Hudson Hawk. This particular combination of stimuli results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness, which can last for several hours. The technique is demonstrated in Hollow Joint Program 5551212, which we cannot use because it won't let us use the Hollow Joint in the demo, but it is something to keep in mind for the other game. Cool, okay, so that's everything we can do here. That was quite a lot of reading. Hope that wasn't too boring. Yeah, so this... Yeah, we can't even get to the hollow deck or whatever it's called. So I think we'll try out the codes here. I have a feeling that only that one code's probably going to work, so that was maybe a waste of time writing them all down, but we'll see what happens. So we'll just start with some that we know are not needed. 4, 4, 6, 8.
It sure doesn't.
Oops. Yeah, okay, so that doesn't work. I assume most of these won't work. 877. 1, 7, 2.
It sure.
Nope. So the one that we needed was... Actually, I'll try one more just to be sure. 3, 8, 6,
It should.
8, 7.
It should.
Okay, those aren't gonna work. I have a feeling a lot of those work in the actual game though, from memory. So the one we want is 7, 4, 6.
It should.
9, 4, 1, 0. Whoa, jeez, that looks pretty tasty.
A jiggling, fragrant, lumpy mass of Bjorn Chow.
Take it.
There's nothing else like it in the universe. Thank goodness.
It's ours now.
You can't detach.
Oops, what?
You can't detach that without a Zyquest torque phase shifter. And who'd want to anyway?
Me. I want to. Okay, so I guess we can give this... Oh, maybe we need to use this to, like, lure the Bjorn dude closer to that plug. I might just save, actually. I haven't... Oh, okay. I guess not. We won't be saving. Yeah, we'll just go try and see if that putting that food down will lure it towards the plug. So that was on the bridge. Okay, so Bjorn Chow.
It probably
Eat it, Mr.
It
Bjorn.
probably seemed like a good idea to you at one time.
Oh,
Excellent guess.
really?
As cool as
Okay.
it would be to interface these two items, no good would come of it. It probably... As cool as it would be...
Okay, maybe we need to plug this in first. Okay. Wait, it's already got a cord on the ends.
Clapping at the plugged-in clapmaster doesn't seem to help. Clapping... Wait... Maybe that's not a good idea. He might want to assimilate me.
I want to pick the plug up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
Clapping at the... Wait a minute. Clapping at the plugged-in...
You pinch. You feels. Yeah.
Clapping at the plugged-in...
Stop it, Roger. I just want you to pick up the plug.
Maybe... Wait a minute. This doesn't feel like the real Deep Ship 86. This must be one of those El Cheapo demo models.
Okay, I guess we can't pick this up then.
Clapping at the plugged-in clapmaster doesn't seem to...
Yeah, but I don't have anything else to plug into. Maybe we need to put that there and then use this.
As cool as it would be, it probably... Excellent guess. Excellent. Excellent.
Ah, there we go. That's not suspicious at all. Go, do it. Ah, we got toast.
Guess I won't need the toast. It has no power here.
Oh, but I want the toast.
All right. It's his super cool lemon sorbet bioconverter belt.
Wheat. Let's use it.
I'll just give this lemon sorbet bioconverter button on the Bjorn belt a push and see what happens. All right. The belt begins to thrum with electronic life.
Yeah, we did
I've
it.
saved all my fellow crew members from cleansing the palates of the Bjorn. I wonder what incredible adventures lie in store for me and the crew of the Deep Ship 86 and Space Quest 6.
I wonder. Computer and simulation. Well, alright. That was short but sweet. That was not a pun on the sorbet there, but yeah, so I guess we'll get into the actual game. I don't think they actually make any reference to like that happening in the actual